We have not come this far to turn back now. The treasures of the East await those brave enough to seize them. Follow me to victory!
Today, we're going to break down how Alexander the Great faced that exact crisis with a single speech that literally changed the course of his empire.
So, yeah, try to put yourself in his boots for a second. You've marched your army to the edge of the world and all the way back. But now, here at Opis, your own battle-hardened Macedonian veterans, they've just had enough. They want to go home. And this isn't just some grumbling in the ranks. We're talking a full-blown mutiny. Everything, and I mean everything, is hanging in the balance. So, what's your move? Well, for Alexander, it was a speech.
Now, Alexander's first move here is nothing short of rhetorical genius. He doesn't come out yelling, he doesn't threaten them. No, he grounds them in a shared history, a past that every single one of them respects. And where does he start? With his father, Philip.
I mean, this opening line is just brilliant. He's not coming in hot, asserting his own authority as king. Instead, he's showing respect for a figure they all revered. He's establishing common ground before the debate even really gets started.
And right away, bam, he paints this incredibly stark contrast to remind them exactly where they came from. Before Philip, he says, you were just peasants in animal hides, totally defenseless. But Philip, he transformed you. He made you city dwellers, a real military power, rulers. See what he's doing? He's establishing a debt, a foundation of gratitude that they all share.
Okay, so after masterfully laying that foundation of respect for his dad, Alexander pivots. He uses Philip's legacy almost like a launchpad to start talking about what they, all of them, have achieved together under his command.
What a turn, right? It's such a bold, powerful statement. He's basically saying, you thought what my father did was impressive? Just look at what we've done. With one line, he completely seizes the narrative and gets ready to unleash this almost unbelievable list of their shared victories.
And then he just starts rattling them off. It's like a verbal map of their glory. He takes them on this incredible journey from the coast of modern-day Turkey, all the way down through Egypt, across Mesopotamia, and to the very frontiers of India. This isn't just some boring list. It's a powerful reminder of the world they conquered, together.
And notice what he's doing here. This is key. He never once says, my empire or my riches. He hammers home again and again that every single piece of treasure, every conquered city, it was all for them. He says, you are now satraps, generals, and captains. He's framing their massive success as their own reward, not his.
So right after building them all up with these incredible visions of their new wealth and status, he just hits them with this question. And it is devastatingly simple. It's a direct challenge, really, designed to cut right through any resentment they might have and force them to ask, wait a minute, what has he personally kept from all this?
And the answer? It's completely disarming. He says his only reward, the only thing he's kept for himself, are the symbols of his kingship. No private estates, no hidden personal treasure. He's masterfully positioned himself not as a king hoarding wealth, but as a public servant holding their vast fortune in trust for you all. All right, so he's established their shared wealth. Now he shifts gears completely. He moves from the material stuff right to the emotional heart of his argument. And this is where he connects with them not as their king, but as just another soldier in the trenches.
I mean, this is just an incredible leveling of the playing field. He tells them he eats the same food they do, gets the same terrible lack of rest. He even talks about how he stands watch at night himself, just so they could sleep soundly. In these few lines, he's totally erasing the immense distance between a king and his men.
And then, wow, then comes this. It is just raw emotional power. It's a physical challenge. He's making his personal sacrifice totally tangible, absolutely undeniable. He tells them his body is covered in wounds from every kind of weapon you can imagine. All of them suffered while leading from the very front. I mean, how do you mutiny against that?
And he just keeps going, reinforcing this deep personal bond. He reminds them of their shared lives, the weddings they celebrated, the debts he personally paid off for them, the golden crowns he handed out for valor, the honors he gave their fallen comrades. He's not just their commander anymore. He's their brother in arms. So, at this point, you gotta think, okay, he's reminded them of their shared history, their wealth, their sacrifices. They must be thinking he's finally about to give in, to meet their demands.
But then comes the twist. A shocking turn that just flips the entire situation on its head.
Can you just imagine the stunned silence after that line? After all that connection, all that shared emotion, he just cuts them loose. He doesn't beg. He doesn't try to negotiate. He calls their bluff and completely dismisses them. It is an absolute masterstroke of psychology. And then, oh, this is the best part, he gives them these super sarcastic instructions for their trip home, completely reframing their departure. This isn't a triumphant return of heroes anymore. No, it's a walk of shame. He forces them to see their own actions not as loyal soldiers finally going home, but as deserters, abandoning their king in the heart of enemy territory.
And this is the final devastating blow. Just 2 words. He doesn't just grant them permission to leave. He commands them to. After spending this whole speech building them up as his brothers, he just casts them out. The ultimate psychological checkmate.
So let's step back a second. After all that, why? Why does this one speech, delivered over 2,000 years ago, still stand as a total masterclass in leadership and persuasion?
Well, the bottom line is, it worked perfectly. The historical accounts tell us the soldiers were left stunned, ashamed, and totally speechless. They ended up begging for his forgiveness. With nothing but words, Alexander had completely dismantled a full-blown military rebellion.
You know, when you think about it, Alexander had the power to just execute the ringleaders. End of story. But he chose persuasion instead. And his speech is this timeless reminder that maybe the greatest leadership isn't just about the authority to command. It's the ability to connect, to reframe a story, and to remind people of a purpose that's way bigger than themselves. And that really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What's truly more powerful, the sword or the word?